But I don't want emails from the system. Why can't you send them instead? By user Polandret. Hey TFTs, back with another blood-boiling interaction with users who don't know what they want. So, I built a basic data warehouse for my company, where any side of the business can send regularly important data to be stored securely, and can access it on demand via pre-built queries on Excel sheets, with proper permissioning so there is no wall crossing. My company thinks it's the best thing since sliced bread, but it's just a pretty simple database to me. The other thing this solution does is send emails. If data failed to import, we get a notification. If you want to compare positions from one day to the other, or you want to track changes across periods, you get a nice HTML table. If you want a CSV with last quarter's relevant factors, you get an attachment. Again, nothing extraordinary. Well, a new requirement arrives, more data needs to be snapped, and new statistics have to be calculated and emailed to corresponding recipients. All routine stuff. Things progress as they normally do. I develop it, we test it, we deploy to production, and the system starts sending the emails with live data. So far, so good. About a month in, I get some feedback. The numbers look great, the process is running smoothly, users are overall happy. The only problem is that a lot of people are missing these emails because they are being auto-forwarded to folders. Can you send the emails from your personal email instead? Record scratch. Turns out that the people who asked me during previous data warehousing to be included in certain notifications got tired of receiving emails from mysystem_prod@mycompany.com, and so they set up rules in Outlook to move anything coming from that address to a folder I can tell they never check. And now, they're missing those new and important messages. So, instead of fixing their own mess by adjusting their own Outlook rules, they want the notifications to be sent from my personal company email instead. Face, meet palm, users, meet big middle finger. I'm not your mother, clean your own mess. Winning April Fool's Day, by user Sinine Thesity. Our most senior back-end dev guy decided today was the day to become a legend. 8 a.m., to the director he quietly sends a resignation letter. Panic ensues, this guy's business critical, he knows how everything works on a dozen products at code level and wrote a few of them. Bosses begin having heart attacks, and the director finds out the HR person that we would need to make a counter-offer, is on vacation. So at this point they're about to start waking up executives in other countries and kicking loose emergency negotiations, as he's that critical, and someone messages the guy this really is not the best time for this. His response no, but it is the best day for it. I'm sure they'll see how funny it was eventually. He should have waited an hour to see what kind of offer they came up with. Not the recommended way to replace a printer, by user call. Long ago I worked in a network operations center attached to a co-location data center. It wasn't all that large, about 5 people during the day, 2 at night. Due to reasons that were above my pay grade, we had to maintain a physical copy of hands-on work that was requested by customers that resided in the data center. This involved getting the request by email, putting it into a ticket, then copying that same request, pasting it into a Word document with the ticket number, printing it out and stuffing it into a folder in a large filing cabinet. After a year, we were allowed to destroy the physical copy, but no one ever had time to sort them, so some folders swelled for the 3 years I was there. Anyways, the bottleneck of this whole convoluted process was the printer. It was barely above home grade in the late 90s, single tray feed, single side printing, black and white. Its pages per minute was single digits. Not a huge problem overall, but one that was frustrating nonetheless. I recall us begging for our manager to authorize a replacement, and he tried his best. He was in our court because he had to use the damned thing too. The response was it is working, and therefore we will not replace it. After going a couple rounds with the buyers, our manager came in just as we were switching to night shift and said something along the lines of I'm not allowed to buy a new printer for us until that thing breaks. I'm going home now. With a smile and a nod, he turned his back so he couldn't see our sadistic grins forming as his words sunk in. That printer accidentally fell down 4 flights of concrete steps that night. In the morning, our manager arrived, saw that the printer was now being held together by duct tape, and asked us, straight-faced, what happened. Our response, violent paper jam. This was met with a shrug, and a new printer arrived by the end of the week. I miss those people. I do not miss that printer. Dr. Manager encouraged office space reference. Just give us the servers for free, by user just Git. Okay, so English isn't my first language, so apologies if some technical terms are wrong or unclear. Please feel free to correct me. I work as a software engineer, and most of the time the projects I work on with my team are either the technical support for existing SCADA systems or integration of new ones. Recently we got a new client who acquired new buildings and is now hiring us to automate everything. We would be setting up servers and build a new system etc. for their employees to be able to view and control the lighting, heating, AC, etc. in whatever room they're in. The problem is that the existing system is running on 18-year-old software, external servers, and is incompatible with the security standards they decided on. So we gave them an outline on what we'd have to do, set up and change to meet all of their regulations and standards. This is a big client, one of the biggest companies in the automotive industry. So it's not like they're short on money for something as insignificant as building automation. Plus, they know their regulations are very high compared to smaller companies, so you'd assume they know to expect higher costs. Except their associate who's overseeing the whole project, and who chose our company for the job, expects us to use the old, existing, infrastructure and just build on top of it. I called him today to discuss the specifics and it went something like this: me equals me, A equals him. Me, hi, I'm calling to discuss the integration of the new system. A, right. Yes. See, I took a look at your proposal and I see you intend to install new touch panels in every room? Me, yes, that's right. You stated that all rooms should be controllable by the employees sitting in them. The best possibility for that is having control panels in each room that allows them to change the heating, lighting, and check the AC and window contacts all in one. We feel like that's the easiest solution so that even employees who don't own company work phones have access to it. Yes, I approve of that idea. However, you said you would need to set up an entirely new system for it. Why is that? I know the buildings have perfectly a fine, working, system in place already. Me, yes, but what you requested is not possible to build on the current Windows 2003 servers you have. Okay, but why not? Windows is Windows, isn't it? Me, the project includes roughly 300,000 data points for the administration buildings alone. The production facilities have even more space required to automate. Also, not every room is currently connected to the system as you added new walls inside the building. Plus, as externally managed servers, they do not meet your required security standard and would need to be changed either way. Okay, so you are implementing a new SCADA system for us to use, yes? Me, that's correct. But since you refuse to use the existing server, I expect the upgrade to the new ones to be of no additional costs to us. Me, what do you mean? Since there is already infrastructure for building automation in place, I expect you to add the new servers free of cost. Changing them was your idea after all. Me, I'm sorry? That's not. Did I explain it wrong, or what exactly is unclear about the procedure? Nothing is wrong, what you propose makes sense to me. But the costs for the switch can't be that significant, so I expect them to be added for free as a bonus. This project is already very expensive, so it shouldn't be a loss for you to add them on top. Me. So did we come to an understanding? Me, no, we do not. I'm sorry, but that is something I need to talk about with my boss. The costs you imagine are a lot higher than you think, and this is not a design I am authorized to do. What? I googled servers and they are not that expensive. This is ridiculous. Me, I will get back to you after discussing it with my boss. Let's schedule a meeting with the supervising team for this project and discuss the general outline and costs again. I will send you our offer again with the cost allocation so that you can rediscuss it with your team until the meeting. The meeting is next week and I have honestly no idea what he thought the costs of servers and their continued maintenance are, because that's like one of the most expensive things about the whole project. I need money for my precious time. Well, here's karma for you, sir, by user alone. I work in tech support for an internet provider. Had this one customer be transferred to me from another department mad that his HBO Max app is not working. HBO Max is a free subscription we offer with the service. The app was not playing anything. I told the CX to reinstall it and magically, it started working. It would be great, but then he asked for credit for the time he spent on a phone with the previous agent to have it fixed. I had a rough day, so I asked my manager if we could give him credit to have him off my back. My manager finally agreed to $5 goodwill credit. I told the CX about it and he had the audacity to laugh at me and ask for a supervisor. Well, he made a mistake. My supervisor denied any credit to him because he obviously wasn't entitled to it, as we don't own HBO and HBO subscription is just a little nice thing we gave him, and we also found this is not the first time this guy tried this trick to get money, and last time he succeeded. Oh well. Could have agreed to the $5. Grinning face with smiling eyes, annoying but satisfying in the end, made my statistics worse with the supervisor escalation, but it was worth it.